Well, many call it the most wonderful time of year, but the holiday season can also be a stressful time when it comes to money and relationships. Here to give us tips on balancing money, happiness, and your social life is Dr. Max Alberhasky, Assistant Marketing Professor at Cal State Long Beach. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to chat.
Well, we got a lot to chat about, right? We know inflation has affected countless people. Can you tell us how can people save money this holiday season? It sounds like an easy question, but a lot of people seem stuck.
Yes, absolutely. So we know inflation is going crazy. Housing prices are higher than they've ever been. And so what does that say when it comes to the holidays and gift giving? I think there are two things that are really important to keep in mind here. The first one is about communication, and the second one is about intentions. And so just talking about the holidays beforehand with your romantic partner, with your family members, with your children is crucial. Now, I know some people who've made pacts with their families or romantic partners to completely forego gift giving this year, and that's perfectly acceptable if everyone is on the same page. The worst case scenario is if one person shows up with a gift and then the other isn't on the same page and hasn't reciprocated by bringing a gift. That could be detrimental to relationships, but by communication, you can overcome a lot of these ships passing in the night sort of scenarios. And then it's
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's important to keep in mind that it's the thought that counts, not necessarily how much money we spend on gifts. And so gift giving expert Julian Gibby, he was recently quoted as saying, "It's the thought that counts." And a great instance of this comes from one of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, where Walter White, the main character, he shows up to an old friend's house who's a multimillionaire. And even though the invitation said no gifts, to his horror, there's a huge mountain of fancy looking expensive gifts at the birthday party. And lo and behold, he's only brought a pack of ramen noodles. But while this is a relatively inexpensive gift, once his friend Elliot Schwartz opens the ramen noodles, he almost breaks out in tears because it's what they used to eat every night when they were graduate students founding their own company. So I love this example because it goes to show that it's really the thought and sentiment that counts, not how much money we spend.
It is the thought that counts, and obviously, you know, a white elephant gift can do a lot of good, right? There's a lot of joy and something like that. You bring a gift to a party, everybody kind of spends time just trading gifts. I mean, that's something fun too, you know?
Yeah, it feels very social. It feels very communal. It's kind of like a potluck. And it can also be the case that the expectations for getting a great gift aren't very high because it might be for a coworker you don't know very well, or it could be the case that you're kind of swapping around gifts. And so I completely agree with you.
Those secret Santas will get you. Let's talk about social gatherings. You know, this time of year can be fun for a lot of people, but for many, overwhelming at times too. Advice for that?
Yeah, I would say it all comes down to communication, and now's the perfect time with the holidays coming up quickly to take a hard look at your finances, I would say, and perhaps make a budget. See what your budget for gifts is going to be this year, with an understanding that, again, you don't need to break the bank, you just need to communicate. And so when it comes to, let's say, a romantic relationship, this might involve asking your partner directly or casually, what are some gifts that you'd like this year? Maybe come up with a list or make an activity of making gift lists for each other, and then going through their list. And I love gift lists, actually, even though they might take some of the fun or surprise out of gift giving, you're guaranteed to get the person a gift that they want and that they're going to appreciate. So once you have that list, you can see what might fit into your budget and get your partner or family member something that you know they will like.
I think what you said early on was communication is key. I think if you do let a family member, a coworker know that, hey, times are tough, I have a big housing project, or I need to buy a new car, I don't have a lot of extra money for gifts, most people do understand and they're okay with that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a research project that looks at how income inequality and social relationships can affect gift spending. And what I find is that when you're buying a gift for someone who earns more money than you, they're not expecting you to break the bank. They just really appreciate that you got them something, you went out of your way, and it's really the thought that counts.
All right,
So,
let us know how
absolutely.
that research turns out next time we chat.
Sounds great.
All right, Max Alberhasky from Cal State Long Beach, thanks for joining us and happy holidays.